What was the biggest difference going from Superstock to this? Obviously, you went from GSXR to GSXR, but you seemed like right away you clicked with the Superbike a little bit more so than the Superstock bike.
Yeah, the Altus Superstock bike was a good bike for sure, but kind of some of the things I was struggling with on the stock bike, the Superbike kind of just naturally did. So some stuff like in the middle of the corner where I would want to kind of hook the bike around that last little bit of turning, the stock bike was really difficult. Like the stock Suzuki is a little bit more of a pig compared to the Superbike, so that last like couple degrees of turning, it doesn't really want to get done unless you're really muscling the thing. And for me, I'm not really the strongest guy, so I kind of rely on the motorcycle to do the work. And um, the Superbike just kind of did that for me. And then also too, I just think I got that year under my belt, kind of learning how to ride the big bike, and that's what I needed. I just needed time, really. Coming off the 600, I didn't really have that like super bike, super stock style. You know, I was still kind of just roaching the edge of the tire and just like not riding the thing proper. And it took all year for me to start understanding that. And even the stock year, you could see like throughout the year, I started progressing towards the end of the year. And, you know, I never really like beat you guys, but I started getting closer and closer and closer. And then it was season done. So I think I just learned a lot and then happened to hop on the super bike at the right time, the right track. And it just wound up kind of clicking for me.
Yeah.
What this is your first time on a super bike, of course, but like you're getting thrown a lot of stuff. I mean, you've been in a couple different championships, but I don't think you've been on anything with this amount of electronics and like data, being able to change swing arms, cups, like everything, pivots. Like, what's that been like, or have you really even dabbled in it, or you've just focused on your riding? Like, how has that been from somebody who's been riding super stock bikes, super sport, things of that nature? I mean, that's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was definitely that was one of the things that we talked about when I first joined the team was there's no reason for me to even change the bike until I'm in the ballpark. And I go figure, the first weekend I'm kind of within the ballpark and they're like, what do you want to change? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just want to ride the thing and kind of figure it out. So that's kind of where it got tricky for sure. Honestly, the Superbike was basically like, to me, it was a mix of like the Moto2 bike that I rode once or twice and the Superstock bike. So it was kind of like a good mix of the two and throw in some electronics on top. And for me, I just kind of gelled with it. And, you know, I had Ben Fox working with me. So he kind of, anything that I was struggling with, he would kind of explain to me the options in a way where I was actually able to understand it. So I didn't really struggle with it too much. You know, I kind of at first did struggle with the electronic side of things, but the more that we kind of dove into it, the more I just realized like there's a particular way that you kind of need to ride with the electronics compared to having no electronics. So once I started wrapping my head around that, my manager Shaky was kind of explaining it to me as well, and obviously he knows how to ride a super bike. So I started to understand and really study some old races and kind of watch these guys like Gagne and Bobier and you know the big dogs. Watch those guys for a little bit, and once I knew what to look for on the screen when I'm watching the races, it all started to make a lot more sense to me. And I just started to try and implement that kind of riding style into it, and it made it easier working with the electronics. So that's just kind of really how it went for me.
Yeah.